show you what happens. So I'll also pick this template right here. Okay, now if I click right here and you click on email marketing, this is where the magic happens. Is that ClickFunnels will send out emails based on what that person does on the webinar. So if they register, it'll send them this email. Send them a registration confirmation, send them an email a day before, and then an hour before. Now, if they were supposed to be on the webinar but they missed it, then it'll send them an email sending them a link to the replay. Now, if they showed up on the webinar but they left early, then it'll send them a different email telling them about a replay that's happening. Or if they showed up on the webinar, they stayed for the entire thing, they saw your offer at the end, but then they didn't purchase for some reason, then I can send them a different email. And I can add as many emails into this as I want. So I can have, if they miss the webinar, 10 emails trying to get them to watch the replay. And as soon as they watch the replay, then boom, it'll move them to the different list, and it'll move them around. And so the power of automated webinars is your ability to follow up. So Liz right now, it's kind of funny with her process. So she's been doing them live, right? Having tons of success, and she's like, I sold whatever 12 people on this webinar live, and I said, well, what are you doing to follow up? She's like, I don't really have a follow-up sequence in place. And so I gave her access to one of my follow-up sequences, and she's like, wow, you have like 10 emails in this follow-up sequence. And I was like, yeah, usually what happens is however many people buy live on the webinar, we'll typically double that from the follow-up system that's in place. And so it's harder to do it on a live webinar because it's harder to know like who left early, who didn't show up, all those type of things. But on the automated webinar, it's really, really easy to do it. And so anyway, she did it with the live webinar, but she modeled my email sequence that I use, and she did that with her live one, and she told me the stats yesterday, and I think she didn't. It was like. She didn't quite double the sales from the replay, but it was almost. It was like if she'd done $10,000 on live, she did $9,000 from the follow-up sequence. And so the follow-up piece is key, you guys. Like, again, what'll typically happen is about a third of the people who register for webinars show up. And then so you got 70% or 66% who never show up. So you got a whole sequence to try to get them to see the presentation and to close them. So if you do that right, you can make a ton more money. Like I said, we typically double from our follow-up that we do on it live. So I will also in the members area for you guys, I'll go export all the emails that I use in my in some of our really good webinars that have made millions of dollars, and then put them in there so you can see them and use them as a template. And I'll make a video that kind of explains how that process works. If you guys want that, that'd be a cool bonus for you guys for being awesome. I hope. All right, cool. All right, so let me come back here, see where we're at. So doing it live, we use GoToWebinar and then ClickFunnels. Doing it automated, almost live, we do ClickFunnels, and then obviously the follow-up sequences like I talked to you guys about. Okay, so we've covered a ton of stuff, you guys. We are almost 5 hours in. I've got one last section that I want to share with you guys because it's important. Because having this beautiful sales machine and having an amazing product for people to buy is really, really good. But if nobody's coming to your website, then it's not good. That was Liz's whole thing. She did her first webinar. This is the one she talked to you guys about, where she had I don't know, a handful of people who registered, and she showed up live, and she was so excited to give her webinar her first time, and nobody actually showed up. And that's what she said. She had tears in her eyes, and then she voxed me and she yelled at me and told me I was ruining her life. No, just kidding. She didn't really, but she was upset. She said, "Look, I've spent all this time, this effort. Like, why in the world is this not making me as much money as, make me no money?" She's like, I did all the hard work. I did all the foundation. I've planted the seeds. I'm ready to reap the harvest. Where's it at? And I said, we've got to really come back and focus on the promotion. Having the best store in the world won't help you if there's no people around. You've got to get people in front of it. And so this is kind of the last step here in the expert secret system. And because I'm not going to go into tons of technical detail because I don't want to bore you guys with that, but I need you guys to understand how this works. Because if you can understand how it works, then when you get to that spot, then it'll be easy just to go and to figure out the technical things, right? And so that's kind of my game plan, is I want to share with you guys how we now promote these webinars. How Liz was able to go from zero to her first month, 35, however many thousand she's at, and how she's going to go to 100,000 this month and keep growing it from there. And it all has to do with this, the promotional part of it. And this is the part that's fun for me. I love this stuff, you guys. This is where it gets exciting. So who wants to hear about promotions? You guys excited about this? You hear my trial close right there? Are you guys loving trial closes? Okay. All right, let's dive in. Okay. So this is where we come back to our Dream 100, you guys. We talked about this at the very beginning, right? So Dream 100 is important for a lot of reasons. Initially, it's for us to find out where in this ecosphere we fit in, right? How we start complimenting people as opposed to competing with them, so we can find a lot of really good partners. Okay, now if you've been doing what I talked about, you've been digging your well, you've been building relationships, you've been Facebook messaging, you've been buying these guys things, you've been subscribing, you've been sending them gifts, you've been whatever it takes to get their attention. You've been trying to interview them on podcasts, you've been providing value, you've allowed them to come into your training for free so they can have access to it, so they can learn from you and see why you're so awesome. You do anything you can to dig that well. Okay, now it comes back to like, how do we get these people attention? How do we, now that we've dug the well, now we're thirsty, now we're ready, this thing's about to go live, how do I get them engaged and how do I get them involved? Okay, and so the first thing is you got to get their attention, and there's a lot of ways to get people's attention. All the stuff we talked about earlier are big things, but for me, what I do, like when we launched ClickFunnels, I made 100 personalized videos for each of my Dream 100, and I put these in these like video cards, so each one had a personalized video card, and I mailed them packaged in the mail. I think we ended up doing 120 of them. We mailed out 120 packages to my Dream 100. Okay, you don't have to do something like that, but it's a good way to get noticed is by sending people stuff in the mail. In the past, to get access to my Dream 100, I've sent them pizzas before, where I'll literally order 100 pizzas. I'll call the Pizza Hut next to each of their houses, and I'll have them deliver a pizza with a letter from me. It's like, hey, this is Russell. You may not know me yet, but huge fan. I want to give you some pizza. Please give me a call. And it's funny, like you'll do this with the Dream 100, just so you guys know, like typically you're gonna be picking a lot of like big people, right? And the reality is like in your mind, you're like, man, if I do this cool thing, 100% of them are going to say yes. But it's not the case. What'll happen in a typical kind of rollout is you'll ask 100 people to do it. You'll get like 20 to 30 who'll say yes, and then you'll get 5 to 10 who actually follow through and do it. And that may be like, oh, it's depressing numbers. But literally 5 to 10 people saying yes on something could be $1 million launch. That's just kind of how it works. And so don't get discouraged. If somebody says yes and then blows you off, don't ever don't be upset at them, because that's just the nature of high achievers. Is that's going to happen. They're gonna commit to things and not follow through. But don't go and be upset. I've messed up on things in the past where I committed something and I forgot to do it, and I've had two responses. One, people come back and they're totally cool about it, and we always end up doing something again in the future. And I've had other ones where people come and yell at me about it, and guess what? We've never done something with those guys again in the future. Okay, for me, one of my best skills as a marketer is I'm really good at kissing people's butts, especially my Dream 100. Okay, if they want to, if they kind of screw me over and they don't follow through on their commitments, that's all right. I just say, you know what, maybe in the future something will happen. I don't want to hurt this relationship, and you do everything you can to make that relationship awesome. Okay, that's kind of key. But yeah, so send out packages is a great way. Okay, now the next thing is I first learned this from a guy named Jay Abraham, who's one of the smartest marketing consultants in the world. And he has this concept he calls parasite marketing. Okay, and when you think about a parasite, what do you think of? You think about, for me, I think about like if I go to Mexico and I drink some bad water, I get parasites, and these parasites start like eating all the nutrition out of my stomach, and I get really sick and I die, right? That's a parasite. Okay, a parasite is this thing that latches on to something else and it sucks the life out of it. Okay, and so that's kind of a horrible example of it, but a parasite marketing is you find these people like in Dream 100 who have all this cool stuff happening. How can I be a parasite? How can I leverage what they're already doing to make me money fast? Okay, and I'm going to talk about paid media here in a minute, like driving banner ads and solo ads and all these things. And those things are all good, but the problem is like they're not nearly as good as leveraging off somebody else who already has a warm list, right? For example, I've got a list of about 500,000 people. And so for me to send an email out for somebody, it's way better than going and buying ads on Facebook, because it comes from me, me talking to my audience saying, hey, my name's this is Russell, and you should go check out so-and-so's product. It's really, really good. I love it. This is why. Check out this link here, okay? And I can send that email out, and from there, because I have a relationship with them, my list, my followers, my subscribers, a ton of them are going to go buy whatever I recommend, okay? So my first thing is with these Dream 100 is ideally I want them to send an email to their list. If they got 20,000 or 50 or 100,000 people, if they can send an email out to their list selling my product, and I can give them 40% or 50% of the sales or 70% of the sales or whatever it is, that's the best way, because that's guaranteed. I only pay when a sale happens. Okay, it's like commission-based salespeople. That's like the best, because everything else I'm going to be doing It's going to cost me money whether I make money or not. But this email promotion, if I can get one of my Dream 100 to send an email to their list of people, to their subscribers, that's like pure cash just coming into my pocket. Okay, so that's my first dream. So when I get to know these people, like that's my first question is, hey, so I've got this webinar. I've been doing it for a little while. You know, I've done 3 of them so far. Like for Liz, for example, she can say I've done 5 or 6 of them so far. Here's my stats. It's been really good. Here's the people that bought it. They love it. They have a great experience. And I'd love to do this for your list. Would you be willing to do that? I'll give you 50% of all the sales. All you do is send a couple emails and let me do the webinar, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, so that's my first thing I'm presenting to my Dream 100, one person at a time, very personal. That might be what I'm sending out in my package. That might be what I talked about on a phone call. And again, some will say yes, some will say no, some will say yes and then don't actually do it. But that's okay. Just it's this whole process of planting seeds and asking and asking and asking, right? So there's that. That's step number 1 is emails. Now, a lot of times, for whatever reason, people aren't going to promote, right? But I know, like, let's say example for Tony Robbins, right? In fact, let's do this. I'm going to Facebook real quick. Because if you guys understand this concept, it's going to make your lives awesome. All right, so I'm typing Tony Robbins. Okay, check this out. Guess how many people like Tony Robbins? 1,332,550 people like him. Okay, now if I can get Tony to go message all 1.3 million people to buy my thing, that'd be awesome, right? Okay, but Tony's pretty protective of his list, so he's probably not going to say yes to me. Okay, even though I got a good relationship with him, he's probably not going to say yes to me, and I get that. But he's one of my Dream 100, so how do I bypass him, and how do I just get to his audience and just kind of bypass it? Well, the way you do that is you can go and you can on Facebook you can set up ads that will just be shown to Tony Robbins' audience. Okay. Now the lazy way people do this is they'll pick a list of all their Dream 100. So they've got 100 different Facebook fan pages. Like this is like 8.6 billion people, right? And they drive them all to one landing page. Okay, that's like the one way you can do it. But if you really want to be successful with this, is I know that here's Tony Robbins people. I need to make a custom landing page just for Tony's people. They might have a video of me saying, hey, this is Russell. I know you're a Tony Robbins fan. And one thing Tony talks about is how you can make your life better. And I've got this really cool webinar called Life Hacking Secrets I thought you might benefit from. It's a free webinar. All you do is go and register here, and you can be part of this, right? So I go and I create that page in ClickFunnels here. Maybe I put a video right there that has that little message. Now this page I created, I'm going to go and I'm going to market to Tony Robbins fans. I've got 1.3 million people, and when they're on Facebook, I want my ad popping up in front of all of them, okay? And it's very easy and relatively inexpensive to do that inside of Facebook. So there's the first one. Then I'm going to go to my next Dream 100. So let's say my next one is Dave Asprey. So let's see. That's his personal. I wonder if it's bulletproof. Okay, so bulletproof executive. So this is Dave's fan page. He's got 108,000 people. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to create a landing page for my webinar that targets Dave's people and say, hey, see, you're part of the bulletproof executive. Dave's always talking about ways to hack your life and to blah 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 blah. I've got this really cool webinar coming out called Life Hacking Secrets. It's going to show you my system for blah 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 blah. Register for webinar here. Okay, you guys see how this works? So I'm taking my Dream 100, this list that I compiled of all my dream people, and I'm trying to get them to promote directly. But if they're not, then boom, I'm becoming a parasite, and I'm going to show my ad to their audience anyway. Okay, that's one of the most amazing things about Facebook is I can go and I can, if I know who it is I want to target, I can target their audience, which is really, really exciting. Okay. Again, I'm not going to get in the technical part and show you guys how to do it right now. It's not that difficult. We can put some videos in the members area to kind of go deeper into that so you can see how it works. But that's how it works. Okay. Now I just came up with this new tricky, sneaky idea about 2 weeks ago, and I'm about to roll this out to. I'm testing right now with the Bulletproof Executives page, and if it works, I'm gonna do it on all my people. This is my goal. So I haven't done this yet, so I don't know the results yet. And I don't have the page up live yet, but I can show you the video because I recorded it 2 days ago. But it'll give you guys a hint of what I'm trying to do, and I think it's going to work. But I think that it'll give you guys a sneak peek at kind of where my mind's going and how I'm trying to use this right now to get more people into my funnels. Okay, who here wants to see it? It's my sneaky little trick. Okay, you guys want to see it? Good. All right, cool. Okay, here's the trick. So here's the secret. So let me show you. Okay, open this video. So this is the video I made 2 days ago. And by next week, every single person who is, another thing that's cool is so every single person who follows Dave will be seeing this in their timeline, but also inside of Facebook, you can do some really cool insight stuff where say, look, not only people who of these 108,000 people, like what are their demographics, what are their psychographics, what other pages they like, what are the other things, and Facebook will give you all sorts of crazy data where I can say these 108 people, like give me lookalike audiences, show me other people who are similar to this customer demographic, and also show them my ads. So I might have 500 or 600 or 700,000 people that come next week are going to be seeing this ad everywhere on their page, and it's going to drive them crazy. Can we hook some microphone up here so you can hear the video? Hey everyone, my name is Russell Brunson, and I'm here today because we're doing a very special giveaway where I'm actually going to be giving away $500 worth of bulletproof products, and I'm super fired up and excited. We're giving away a sleep induction mat, we got MCT oils, we got coffee, we've got pretty much the entire suite of bulletproof products. And normally if you were to go to this bulletproof store right now and buy this, it would cost you over $500, but we're going to be shipping it to one of you guys completely for free. There's nothing you need to do to win this contest except for put your email address down in the form below. And when you do that, you'll be automatically entered into a contest to win all this stuff for free. And I'm excited. I'm going to be giving this away and boxing it up and shipping it out to one of you guys. So if you want to win this, all you got to do is put your email address down in the form below, and you'll be entered into the contest to win this entire suite of bulletproof products. Thanks. Fill out the form below, and I'll see you on the next page. All right. You guys get what I'm laying down? I hope you are. So what's going to happen here is soon all 108,000 people here, plus all the lookalike audiences, so 500,000 so are people who are all into this kind of a product, right? Biohacking and life hacking and all this kind of stuff are going to be seeing my giveaway. And I'm not sure yet. My goal is to get 30 to 40,000 people to give me their email address to enter this contest. And then when they do, then they're in my email sequence, which then will push them into my webinar. Okay, you guys getting this? Is that pretty exciting? So this is the first one I'm doing it for, and then I'm going to go back through and I'm going to do it for all of the different gurus. So for example, here's Tony, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I hope you guys, I hope somebody copies me because it's a good idea. And everyone can win it. This is not something that's like, this isn't going to work because it's not working anymore. So I'm going to go to eBay. I'm going to type in Tony Robbins. And check this out. I'm going to spend a few $100. I'm going to be like, okay, here's Life Mastery Manual. Ooh, here's entire Power Talk cassette tapes for $25. Here's the Get the Edge CDs for $38. So I'm gonna go through here in eBay and I'm gonna spend $500 or $600 just buying a whole suite of really cool Tony Robbins stuff, especially the old things where Tony's got his old haircut and stuff. I can get that for a penny, you know. And I'm just gonna buy a ton of Tony's stuff, right? And then I'm gonna target all of Tony's 1.3 million people and be like, hey guys, I've got $500 of Tony stuff. I got rare stuff you can't find anywhere else. All this thing, I'm gonna give it away for free. If you want this, all you got to do, give me your email address. You'll be entered into a contest to win it. Boom, they give me the email address. Next page is, hey, thanks so much for entering the contest. Really excited to have you here. Also, later this week, I'm doing a webinar called Life Hacking Secrets. And if you're into Tony's stuff, I think you'll really enjoy this as well. Okay, you guys getting this? Okay, next thing I'm going to do, then I'm going to go to my next person on my Dream 100. So I'll type in like Dan Kennedy. See if I can find a good Dan Kennedy group. They look like you have a good one. So let's type in Joe Polish or keep going through. So this one's a little smaller. So I'm trying to find groups. I like finding groups that are like 50,000 people or above. So who else is my Dream 100? Let's type in Mike, Phil Sams. Let's type in. Anyway, I'm going to keep going through my Dream 100. Keep typing in. Try to find fan pages that have 50,000 people or more. And as soon as I find that, then I'm going to go to eBay, try to buy a bunch of products of theirs for super discounted prices, and put together a sweet package, give away a contest, and then blanket their fan page with my ads. Give away the free thing, and then boom, next step, invite him to my webinar. Okay, do you guys see how cool that is? It's like this really cool way. All right. So Frank says, this is amazing. A contest to build lists. The guru's cool with this. Yeah, so the way that I got all of this stuff right here I didn't actually even pay for it. I just emailed those guys and I'm like, hey, I want to do a contest and give away some stuff. I'm going to build a list of people who love Dave Asprey, and then to that list, I'll sell your products and I'll sell your book. And they're like, sweet, how about this? We'll ship you out a whole box of stuff. I'm like, all right, thanks. So I didn't even pay for this. They shipped me this entire box so I could do this contest. Because again, it's good for them. They're going to sell a ton of stuff through this process as well. It's raising more awareness. It's me buying ads, promoting their brand. I'm sure there's going to be one or two guys who aren't smart and like, you know, whatever. But for the most part, people are not going to care.